Good morning. I want to talk about the astrology community and those astrologers practicing within the community, how we are responding to each other, how we are presenting ourselves to our public, the way that we are practicing, the way that we're having to vacillate between the ancient art of astrology. And astrology is thousands of years old, and there are many different types, many different practices of astrology, and back and forth between capitalism, this modern world where everything is falling apart around us, and we're just trying to survive. We're trying to find humor in things. And it's so important to find a balance in this time of both respecting the ancient art while also, especially if we are trying to become career astrologists, make it make sense in a capitalistic modern world where so many people are suffering. And I see so many people in conflict on this app, astrologers that are just tearing each other down, astrologers that are not taking into consideration that this is not something that's regulated. This is not something that the novice can't hop on an app and discuss their thoughts or ideas versus those that have been in the game for 20 years. Everyone is at a certain level, and everyone is interpreting the language of the cosmos through the lens of their own personal experience. Some people fall into astrology because they're traumatized. And so they see and they hear the pop astrology, which I know we all hate the pop astrology. But even the pop astrology does have something there that helps guide people into the astrological world. I know as an astrologer, and I study ancient Hellenistic astrology. I have completed the Cosmic Academy with Heather Eland, and I have completed my year 1 through Nightlight Academy, year 3 as well. I'm working through year 2 in horary. So I'm trained as like a ancient Hellenistic astrologer. I am a Taurus sun in the 8th house. I am a Capricorn moon. So yes, tradition matters to me. It absolutely matters to me. Respecting something for what it is, what it brings to the table, its historical influence, its historical value. Absolutely. But I'm also a Mercury and Gemini in the 9th house opposite Uranus. I like to have fun with astrology. I like to poke fun at certain aspects, certain placements. It's the study of patterns. Essentially, that's all astrology is. And it's difficult to deny that there are just certain placements that are gonna show up similarly time and time again. And some of them are kind of funny, depending on your perspective of the world. With astrology, and especially as it is becoming a career path for so many, there is a game that we have to play. Some of us are better at playing it than others. Some of us maybe haven't put in all the work in learning the craft in an exceptional depth, but we are better at social media. You know, you have the Marins and the Amy Demures of the bunch. But they've brought so many people into the realm, into the conversation of astrology. They're not insignificant. I know we love to tear them down, and it's crazy because it's so often women astrologers tearing down other women astrologers. Like, but if you listen to them, they're not completely void of knowledge. They're just really good at bringing in those that haven't experienced and studied astrology into the conversation, into the arena. As astrologers, we can be thankful for that. And then as we heard other people in, you have like the Loris of the Awake Space podcast. I believe that's her. The astrology podcast. You know, you have the Chris Brennans of the bunch. You have, you know, the Leo King and the Evan Nathaniel Grimms. you have so many astrologers that can bring people in once they've entered the chat and educate them in ways that is a little bit more detailed, a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more serious. But if we didn't get them in the first place, these astrologers wouldn't have these opportunities. I see so many astrologers on here just bemoaning the fact that they have to undo everything that these little girls have done. But you wouldn't even have that audience in the first place if these little girls hadn't brought them in. We don't need to take ourselves so seriously. Like, this isn't the era of trying to figure out when to like tell our leader that they need to go to war, or that they should have a coronation, or we're not living in those days. Like, we are living in days where, yes, everything's falling apart, but we need to find joy and find humor in things. And it's okay to laugh about certain astrological placements. It's okay to make videos that are funny and joking about, like, it's like this man's natal chart that I just met on Hinge is like total trash, but they have a Scorpio Mars, so I'm gonna give it a go. Like, it's funny, and I mean, if you understand what it is we're trying to say, it's like, okay, yeah, no, it's fine. But this is all just to say that, like, me with my Libra rising, Mars, Saturn, and Pluto, I'm tired of all the conflict. I'm tired of people not being able to see other people's perspectives. I'm tired of people feeling the need to infringe on other people's practices. I'm tired of people ripping each other down within a community that we all have something in common. We're all trying desperately to have conversations with the cosmos, the universe, the stars, the planets, the gods, however you view that art. And some of us are here just to recognize patterns and see what that means. We're all like somewhere along this path, and there's so many different paths. You have your ancient Hellenistic astrologers, your modern tropical astrologers, your Vedic astrologers, sidereal. You have those that are using whole sign, equal, Placidus. You have those that are studying horary, those that are evolutionary astrologers, those that love to do natal chart readings and see it from a very psychological perspective. Those astrologers that have also read Carl Jung and absolutely see the psychological implications of certain placements, versus those that see these same placements as events in a person's life. Those that are using it to help guide your path, those that are using it to pick perfect partners, those that are using it to try to figure out the best time to try to conceive, to have children, those that are using it to try to pick the best career, those that are using it, astrocartography, trying to figure out where best to locate. There's so many different ways to use this craft. It is a gift. It is a gift. And we need to stop arguing about it. We need to stop picking at each other. We need to stop lording our skills over each other. There's a particular astrologer on this app that seems to be the center of attention, the center of all the conflict, the center. Every time I turn around, this particular astrologer is always poking at somebody, starting some kind of conflict with them, letting them know that they've refined and rediscovered and rebuilt and created the only form of accurate astrology, and that's simply not true. Use your discernment when you're hiring astrologers. You don't need to tell astrologers that what they're doing is wrong. You can simply move on. You can simply find those astrologers that do vibe with your energy, that do appear to be doing things correctly as far as you are concerned. Find one that you trust. Find one that makes sense to you. Find one that's on your maturity level. Find one that is honest. Find one that can take a joke, but also really rip apart a chart in a way that's going to be useful and helpful to you and your path, your discovery, your journey through life. Again, astrology is a gift, and there's plenty to go around. So let's stop ripping each other down. Let's learn and grow through each other and practice this art with love.